Hi, everyone. So I hope that you've been doing well and staying safe and healthy during this time. And I wanted to come to you guys and share with you a conversation that I had with a consultant recently. So if you've been following my journey, you know one of the biggest issues I've had with my sister lock journey is losing locks from the root. And I've followed the directives of my own sister lock consultant, but I'm still having that same problem. So I wanted to kind of broaden, if you will, my research for how I can help to solve this issue of losing my sister locks from the root. So one of the things I appreciate about the sister lock community, especially from the consultant side of things, is that they've all been given similar training. So they've all been taught how to handle and take care of their clients' sister locks. What I'm finding though is there may be some variety in experiences. And so if you have a consultant that's a great technician who handles your hair well, but maybe her experience is not as broad as some other consultants, there may be some limitations, especially when it comes to trying to help you navigate challenges with your journey. So I reached out to someone that I found online, and her name is Jocelyn, and she calls herself the Digital Loctician. Now, Jocelyn is a certified sister lock consultant. She's a certified loctician, a licensed cosmetologist, and she's also a salon owner. And you can find her on her blog as well as across all social media platforms at Curly New Growth. So I do recommend that you check out her pages and check out the information and content that she shares. She has a service where she does virtual consultations. Now, there is a fee associated with the consultation, but she will talk to you about what your hair needs are and help you figure out what's going on. One of the things I really appreciated first about my experience with Jocelyn is that you do a really in-depth questionnaire before you meet with her. And this helps her to really get to know you and your hair and your current regimen and your lifestyle. Like, it gives her a very holistic view of who you are before she speaks with you about the challenges that you're having. So I wanted to share with you my conversation with her and what I learned from her basically as we talked about the issue that I had. Now, one of the things I did along with submitting the questionnaire that she provides is you can also send pictures to her so she can really see your hair a little bit up close. And I actually sent her a picture of a lock that I had lost so that she could really see what I'm dealing with and help me navigate the problem. One of the things she said after we talked for a little bit, she says that she feels like the products that I've been using is the problem. That the products I've been using may be giving me too much moisture based upon where my hair is in the locking process. And that may be causing more slippage, which may in turn be causing me losing locks from the root. So just in case you just started following, so welcome if you're new, but just as a refresher, the products I primarily have been using before my conversation with Jocelyn was the Sisterlocks green tea shampoo, and I've done a review of this on my channel. And then also recently the It's a 10 Miracle Leave-In as a conditioner. So these are the two main products that I've been using before speaking with Jocelyn. Although there's nothing wrong with these products as they are, it still may be the fact that they're too moisturizing for my hair right now in the stage of locking that I'm in. And so when I spoke with Jocelyn, we basically talked about what's needed in a regimen and what she recommends. So she recommends a cleanser, she recommends a conditioner, she recommends a moisturizer, and she recommends a sealant. Now, these four things will be things that I would only use on wash day. And then finally, she recommends a daily refresher. So let's talk about what the recommendations are, and I'll share with you what I've chosen based on her recommendations. So the first thing is for the cleanser. There were about 3 cleansers that she recommended. The basic hair cleanser, she recommends the clarifying shampoo from that line. Then the Comet Biologic shampoos, there's an Egyptian cleansing tea, an Egyptian wheatgrass cleansing tea shampoo that she recommends. And then finally from Kinky Curly, I think there's the Come Clean product from Kinky Curly that all of us are probably familiar with, especially if you come like me from a loose natural hair background. So out of these 3, I chose the Comet Egyptian wheatgrass cleansing tea shampoo, and this is what it looks like. My reason for choosing this one is the basic hair option or hair care brand. You have to buy through a hair care professional, so you have to find a vendor in order to purchase that. And then the kinky curly, it's not that I didn't want to try that product. I was just really intrigued by this whole herbal tea kind of thing that we had talked about, me and Jocelyn. So I felt like the Comet Biologics product was more appropriate for what I wanted to try. Now, I bought this product online directly from the Comet Biologics website. I believe it was about $16.99, and then you add on the cost for shipping, and that will vary depending upon where you live as far as the shipping cost. So I really preferred this one out of the three, just seemed more intriguing to me. So that's why I chose this one out of the three cleansers that she talked about. The next thing we talked about was a conditioner. Now, as she already mentioned, using the creamy conditioner or even the conditioner that I was using before, it may just be too moisturizing right now and causing a lot of slippage. So what she recommended was using 3 teas to make an herbal tea rinse. So there's the chamomile tea. This is the brand that I got. Then there's the nettle tea. This is the brand that I got. And then finally, there's the horsetail tea. This is the brand that I got. So I was able to get the chamomile tea in my regular grocery store, but I did have to order online through Amazon the nettle tea and the horsetail tea. So I'll leave links in the description box to those 2 teas just in case you can't find them in your area. So essentially with the herbal rinse, so I can just talk to you real quick about how you make this. You basically take about 12 ounces of distilled water. In the United States, distilled water is very easy to get and is very cost effective. You can get a whole gallon of distilled water for like $1 and some change in most places in the United States. So it's really easy to get. But essentially, you bring that to a boil and you take 1 tea bag from each of these 3 teas and you're going to steep them together. So boil the water, take the water off of the heat, and then put 1 of each of these teas in that water and let it steep until it's room temp. And then you pour it into your preferred kind of receptacle for the tea rinse. I happen to use a glass mason jar just because I have several of those in my home, but you determine what you want to put it in. Now, essentially, you're going to use about 8 ounces of that tea for your rinse during wash day, and then the remaining ounces you'll use as a refresher spray to use throughout the week after wash day. So that's essentially how you make the herbal tea. What Jocelyn recommends for actually using the herbal tea rinse is to wash your hair with one of the shampoos that I selected, I mentioned to you, if you want to try it. And then afterwards, you basically are going to apply those 8 ounces of the room temp or cool tea rinse to your hair. And then she said, do not rinse it out of your hair. So that's how you basically create and use this particular herbal tea rinse. So wanted to give you that as a suggestion. So we talked about cleansing, we talked about conditioning, and then she talked about the importance of moisturizing after this conditioning treatment. And so here are the options that she recommended. So there's a Sisterlock herbal spray. There's the New Growth Moisture Infusion, which the New Growth brand, I think, is actually Jocelyn's own brand. So you can get that directly from her. And then the Oyen Juices and Berries. Now, she did recommend a couple of additional moisturizers, but these 3 were more in the herbal moisturizing family. And that's really what I'm interested in and wanting to try because I haven't tried that yet. So I want to see if it actually works for me. And so because I already have the Sisterlock herbal spray, I already had this before, I just went ahead and just stuck with this instead of getting one of the other options. So essentially at this point, process right now, you cleanse your hair, you condition it with the tea, and then you spray your hair with whatever your preferred moisturizer would be if you're choosing from one of the 3 that are listed here. Now, finally, you want to seal in this moisture. And so she recommended some light oils to seal in the moisture and to also put a little bit of oil on your scalp. So what I chose out of these 3, the avocado oil, apricot oil, or grapeseed oil, I chose the apricot oil. And mainly just because, again, wanting to try something I haven't tried. I haven't worked with apricot oil, so I thought, hey, let's try this one. So essentially, to oil your scalp in this process, you put it in an applicator bottle with the applicator tip, and then just, lightly oil your scalp. And then you put about a dime to nickel size of that same oil in your hands, rub it together, and then apply it on the length of your hair. Now, I will be honest, out of all the pieces that Jocelyn gave me in this new regimen, this one, using the oil, is the one that I have the most concern about, because I know we've been told, and I don't know if your consultant has said this to you, but I've been told, never use oil. You don't need oil. Don't put oil in your hair. So this was the one that I was most afraid of. But again, not so much afraid of it damaging my locks. I think it's just because I just have my consultant in the back of my mind saying, don't use it. But I'm like, hey, at this point, I need to find what works best for my hair to help me with my issue. And again, it's something I haven't tried. So I just thought, why not? Let's go ahead and try it and just see. And the last step that Jocelyn and I talked about was the daily refresher spray. So like I already mentioned before, you make your herbal tea rinse, use about 4 ounces of that for your spray, put it in a spray bottle. You keep that spray bottle in the refrigerator, okay? Because there's no real preservative in the tea rinse that you're making. So daily, I do mine in the morning. Just take it out, spray your hair lightly, and that's it for the rest of the day, okay? So that's essentially what this whole regimen looks like. So at the time of this video, I have tried this regimen I'm going into my 2nd week, but I have done the full new wash day as well as using the refresher spray. And I must say, I like it so far. It is weird to feel oil in my hair just because I just haven't had oil in my hair for a long time. So that was a weird feeling. I am going to my consultant later on at the time of this video, in a few weeks. So I have already told her about this regimen, and I've already asked her to give me her thoughts once she looks and feels my hair. But overall, I like how my hair feels. It doesn't feel slippery smooth like it does when I use the It's a 10 Miracle spray. So I think that that's good. But my hair doesn't feel dried out. It doesn't feel like when you use something that makes your hair hard, like a protein treatment. It feels really good to me. So I'm in the honeymoon phase of trying this regimen. So right now it feels great. I think the test is going to be over time. Will it help me help prevent me from losing more locks? That's really going to be the test for me. And the second test will be, as my Sisterlock consultant is working with my hair, how does she feel like my hair is doing using these products in a different kind of way? So I'm really looking forward to getting her feedback. It'll be about a month by the time I see her that I've been doing this new regimen. So I'm really curious to see what she has to say, and really curious to see how it's going to help me with the challenges I'm having. My goal is to come back to you all next month. So the time of this video is August. So I want to come back to you in September and give you kind of a month update on how my hair is doing. Have I lost any locks? And what does my consultant think? That's really what I want to come back and talk to you about. And then we can see if I can give you some more updates after that, just to see how I'm progressing with this regimen. So thank you so much for watching. Please comment below if you have questions. I'd love to engage these. If you have questions or comments, leave it below. I'd love to know what your regimen is right now and what you're doing and what you're trying. And I just hope to see you in the next one. So take care.